Well, we'll just have to look into that in the future. I can definitely see people that are less hardcore than most of us that would be viewing this broadcast, at least the first time it's aired. They could certainly enjoy this phenomenon much more if it was available through the sort of modern, sexy platforms that are now available to people, and just being able to pull out your iPad whenever you have 5 minutes to spare and watch whatever you want, which obviously would be Starcraft a lot of the time. That is a very convenient solution, and convenience is a great part of, at least in the States and in European consumer culture, I believe. That could be the way forward, absolutely.
And I actually had an instance this weekend. I went to my family's place, and my brothers, including their girlfriends, and I pulled out the iPad and showed them the game where Husky, myself, the little one, and one of our friends were playing a Math Queen game in a 4v4. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh yes, I have. So that was you in the Massive Queens game. I'll definitely post a link to it in the video so people can watch it. It's quite epic.
Yes, and I pulled it out and played it to them because I found Husky's commentary on that very entertaining. And the interesting fact was half of, definitely my brother's friend and one of my brothers aren't Starcraft 2 players. And they found the game enjoyable because Husky was putting in emotion and his personality. In the second half, where he was, Tealo's got this with his 8 queens and everyone else was dead. And then at the very end of this sucks. He was getting a lot of laughs from them, and they were StarCraft 2 players. And that was really interesting to me that they are effectively non-gamers, they were finding his chat very interesting and very entertaining. And in fact, there was a number of instances of my iPad and my family interacting. It was very entertaining over the weekend, but that one was I told Husky about it, and he smiled. His emotion and his way of casting is really applicable to the mainstream. And I think that scares the community a lot. I see Team Liquid, people see Team Liquid saying that they don't want the riff-raff mainstream in StarCraft 2. That I feel it's very important that if we produce something that's entertainment, that everyone has access to it, and they don't judge the others, the 90% of who aren't hardcore game any differently than they would themselves. Because if you've got the community there and the other 90% comes in and they provide the eyeballs that the advertisers want, the entire community itself, including all professional players, are really going to benefit from it. And you can just see with HD and Husky, they have really appealed to the mainstream market, including myself. I'm not a hardcore player, and that it's making a big difference to the community for that. And they, of course, need to stay level-headed and without ego to make sure that they are in tune with the community and what the community wants, and of course the players, because if they then they don't have any career in the industry.
Yes.
And that's the end of that little rant.
No, and I think it's a good projection of things, and I would agree that there is an old school sense of exclusivity about the Starcraft community, Brood War and the sequel, that has been there for a long time, because it's always been a very difficult thing to play, and a less difficult but still challenging thing to enjoy as a viewer. You have to understand the basics of it, and recent days Husky and HD are not the first ones, though they're currently the biggest ones with Day 9 as well, are people who make it more accessible. And some people like it, many do, not everybody. But I think StarCraft is just a lot of fun. That's why I'm doing this. And if people can make it more inclusive, more people will enjoy it. And then within the community, there can still be many, many layers. And those who have the hardcore view will still be able to retain that. Not everybody have to get along under the same roof, but we can all get along within the same title, I believe, and it can only benefit from having good people putting up good material. And if benevolent sponsors such as iRip can work in unison with organizers, that can only benefit everybody, including players and hardcoreists. However,
Yeah, as you said, I think it really...
Yes, go ahead.
Oops, sorry. As you said, I think sponsors really do need to be benevolent. I can't stress that enough to sponsors to listen, potential sponsors, because you don't want to get into people. It's not the way that advertising has to work these days.
Speaking of advertising as such, it strikes me that we haven't actually mentioned to people what iRip is and what it does as a company and as a product. So, as it has been a very generous sponsor to the Starcraft 2 community, tell us what your software is and where people can find it and why they ought to buy it and what we can expect in the future.
Okay. It allows you to transfer any of your media, so your movies, your music, and other related paraphernalia off your iPad or iPhone or iPod to any computer you own, or anyone else's computer if you want to be slightly illegal. And we basically allow it as a recovery. Those instances when your computer dies and all your music is only on your iPod, then you can get your music back. And that's why I wrote it 7 years ago, because it really was a product that I needed at that point in time. So I made it that lots of people need it though. What's coming up from us in the future? Well, lots of stuff. None of it is really interesting to the community. One of our apps apparently is called Rivet, and it allows you to stream your music and your movies from your computer to your digital device. So right now, your iPad and iPhone, and it means you don't have to copy your media onto it, and you can use the massive hard drive in your PC to everything. And that's where we're trying to go. We're trying to allow our consumers to consume the content whenever they want.
On demand, key two words there in these days, isn't it?
Yeah, and I find a lot when I'm just at home. My girlfriend and I, we want to watch a movie. I want to watch a movie in bed, having a laptop is not convenient. Or if my girlfriend is cycling, having her laptop on the exercise bike at home is not convenient. But when you can do it on your iPhone or you can do it on your iPad, it just allows you to enjoy your media in a new way.
It certainly does, and there's a lot of interesting new media these days, for sure. Is it likely that we'll see iRip or any related software play a significant role in coming StarCraft 2 events then?